Hey friends, hi again. I'm Raquel and I am here with Tina Marie. Tina Marie is, what do we call you? A channel?
Yes, I'm a dragon energy intuitive.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Tina Marie has this YouTube channel. It's so beautiful, and this website so beautiful called Dragon Lovelight, and she shares messages that come from our friends, the beautiful dragons, and she shares basically energy updates and many interesting, you know, energy related information that come from the dragons and other magical creatures. So let's talk about this. I really love dragon energy. I've been sharing a bit about my experience with dragon energy, but I would love for you to tell us how did you connect with the dragons for the first time?
Yes, so the way that I opened up to the dragons was by a book by Diane Robbins, and it was back in 2014. And the book is called Messages from the Crystal Kingdom. And Diane Robbins, she has a YouTube channel. She does channeling as well. So in that book, the Messages from the Crystal Kingdom, there was a section with a channeled message from the dragons. And when I read that message, my whole body just filled with these really massive waves of love. So it was just really beautiful. It was really expansive. It was just this pure love just filled my entire body. And I started crying. It was such a really beautiful experience. And so many people have reached out to me. You shared your dragon experiences. So many people in the dragon community have shared their experiences of just feeling these great waves of love when they connect with the dragons. And that's so accurate. That's so accurate for the energy of the dragons because they have so much love to give us. So that was my first experience with dragons in the way that I know them now. And I think the thing that really affected me so much about that experience was that it felt like truth to me. It wasn't that they were these fearsome monsters that we needed to kill or that we needed to slay. It was these really beautiful, incredible, divine beings of light who had so much love to give. And that really affected me deeply. And so that book, The Messages from the Crystal Kingdom, that's what got me started on my dragon path.
Yes, I know what you mean when you feel that that anything is true. It's like you have this inner certainty. You are so sure about this is it. This happened at one of my the first experience, dragon-related experience I remember was actually a dream. I always receive information in my dreams ever since I was a little kid. And when I was like 14 or something, so like maybe 21 years ago, I I had this dream where I was flying, and I always remember this dream. It was so vivid and it was so real. The feeling was so real, and it is like very significant for me because this is the only dream ever so far when I've been flying. So I was flying and I was over this magical place, like it was a forest or something like that. There were so many trees and mountains, and it was so beautiful. And then I entered this cave, and I realized that I have been flying with this dragon, and then I realized that I am a dragon. So okay, and I went inside, and we were hiding from another dragon who was trying to cause harm to us or something. And then there it gets a bit blurry, and I can't remember so much more. But it was my first experience, and then after that, now, like many years later, now I realize that, hey, maybe, who knows how long ago, I was incarnated as a dragon in another lifetime. So amazing. And then the second time I was aware of being, in contact with the dragon. And I saw the first dragon sparkle that I told you about on the email. And I mentioned that on my first English video. So please tell us if you know more about the dragon sparkles, because maybe there's people who've been seeing that, for a while, and maybe they just don't know, or they haven't realized that they are actually getting in touch with the dragon energy.
Yes, yeah. So I love the dragon sparkles. They're so much fun. And it's really just one of the ways that the dragons play with us. And it's so delightful. And the more that you spend time with dragons and the more that you develop your relationship with dragons, the more that you remember your relationship with dragons, the more magic there is in the world and the more magic there is in life. And the dragon sparkles are just one of those little magical things that you can experience with them. And it's just like you said, where maybe people are experiencing these dragon sparkles, which are the flames. They're the sacred flames of the dragons, and they're interdimensional, so they can move them across dimensions. And so they're the sacred flames of the dragons. And they're really a message from the dragons letting you know that they're with you and that they love you very much. I mean, it's really simple. And can you imagine if you're having a bad day or you're at work and you're having a bad situation at work and you see those little sparkles out of the corner of your eye and you know, oh my gosh, those are the dragons, they're with me. How that can just make the situation feel so much less serious, so much calmer. Same thing if you're driving in traffic. I live in California. I'm not sure what the traffic is like where you are right now, but in California, the traffic is insane. So, you're sitting in traffic and all you want to do is be home, or you have an appointment to get to, and you see the little dragon sparkles and you can just laugh, and it just immediately makes the situation that much lighter and that much brighter. And I mean, that's what dragons do. They're here to help us to laugh, to have fun, to play, and to experience life in much more magical ways. And they're also here to help us through the challenging times, through the days where we just want to watch Netflix and cry. They're here for us during those times too.
Yeah, I have been in touch with dragons recently. This friend of mine channeled energy from Sirius, and she does this therapy called Sakmahat. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a Reiki, but instead of channeling ki, they're channeling Sirius energy. So, anyway, after she finished the session, it was like she wanted to do it for practice because she's just learning how to do it and everything, but she's really great at it. And then after she finished, I opened my eyes, and on the wall, on the ceiling, I had this. I saw a dragon. It was like seeing a painting. Basically, it's not like, oh, this dragon huge is here. No. It's like it was like seeing a painting on the ceiling, and it was this beautiful rose dragon. It was actually a rose dragon who was looking at me and smiling, like, with this lovely smile, lovely, look. and I could feel it, and I told her, and it was so close to, the time where you sent me the Rose Dragon message. It was like 2 or 3 days later, and then it was so amazing because I knew it was one of the Rose Dragons.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. Every time you tell me your dragon stories, I just get these tears in my eyes and I get the chills because they're so beautiful. It's just so wonderful to be able to share those experiences with each other. That's so cool.
And I would love for people to be able to find someone who they can share their experiences with. I mean, we are here, we have this, YouTube channels or Instagram, so you can send us a message if you want to, but it's also cool if you have a friend or someone who you could talk about these things. I know that these are times where there are a lot of people who feel alone, who feel lonely, who feel like they have no friends or nobody to talk about this because, it's like when you talk about this with regular people. It's like, are you crazy? What are you taking? Like, are you doing drugs? But no, I'm lucid. That's it.
Yeah. Like they they'll probably feel that it's okay if it's a fairy tale. It's like, oh, the fairy tale dragons or the fairy tale mermaids. Like, no, the real mermaids. And then you're a little bit, But yeah, I know what you mean about having people that you can talk to about. I mean, even in my life, this is what I do for my work. This is my purpose right now. But I don't really talk to people outside of the dragon community about it. I mean, there's a few people that I can talk to about it, but it's just like you were saying, where they either kind of look at you like you're a little bit off, or they're just not really interested in it. It's not something that they can believe in right now. So having that kind of community is really important. And like you said, they can always reach out to us on, our YouTube channel. They can always send us emails, reach out to us through Instagram. And I get so many messages on Instagram with questions about, connecting with dragons. And this is the experience that I had. And one of the main things that I've seen, and you may have seen this too in your work with astrology, is that people are doubting their experiences. And so really, I think the reason that they reach out to us is for validation, because they want to hear like your experiences were real, your experiences were valid. And I think that's probably the underlying question that I get for all of the different questions is, was this valid? Was my experience valid? And the answer is yes, it was valid. And especially if they feel that love, if you feel that love and you feel that expansiveness and you feel that sense of like being totally accepted, your experience with the dragons is valid.
Yes, exactly. Even if it was like a dream, like just a dream, dreams are not real. What is real? Like, I was thinking the other day when, this shower thoughts, where you get in the shower and then you have this illumination moment. And then I was like, so before the people used to ask, what is normal? What is normal? And now, what is real is the new what is normal. What is real? I mean, I've stopped, differentiating dreams from this present moment. Mm-hmm. I used to say, this is a dream, this is the real life, but then I stopped saying real life, because what is real life? The dream is also a reality. It's just a different reality. We are in a different consciousness state. So it's like we are having we're having access to so many dimensions. We are experimenting multi-dimensionality through our dreams. That's the way we can experience that with the multi-dimensionality. I'm sorry for that pronunciation.
I completely understood exactly what you were saying. Totally fine.
I was telling Tina before that I've been, a bit rusty with my English because I haven't practiced for a while, for a few years. And we're getting there.
Yeah, yes, you're doing great. I'll try to throw some Spanish words here and there. So, dragones. That's all I learned. Dragones. So Raquel and me are hermanas de los dragones, right?
Hey.
Sisters
I love it.
But what you were saying about the dreams too is it's so accurate, because the way that the dragons and the way that the mermaids and the unicorns and even our galactic family members like the Syrians, I know you have some Andromedan heritage as well. So the way that they can communicate with us really easily is through our dreams. And it's because we don't have resistance when we're dreaming. We don't have that mental space of doubt. We're just open and we're in the spirit world and we're just flowing with it. It's when we wake up and we start to start our day that we think, oh no, it was just a dream. I wasn't really flying as a dragon. I wasn't really singing as a dragon. I wasn't really swimming with the mermaids, but maybe you were really doing that.
Yeah. I wrote an Instagram post yesterday about this month is the Virgo season. So this person asked me a question a while ago, and I just saw it like a few weeks ago. And she asked me about the elemental beings.
Mm-hmm.
And, this sparked the idea, oh, let's do elemental beings on Virgo season because, Earth. So, okay, let's do it. And
that was a great post, yeah.
Thank you. And I wrote about the fire elementals last night. So I posted it, and then I remembered that my partner and I have been having these encounters or contact with some of the fire elementals. So, for example, I don't know, but salamandras. How do you call that in English? I'm sorry. Salamander. Okay. So salamander. My partner, he had these dreams like a few months ago, where he was with this woman who was wearing this sort of costume. She was like orangey and beige, orange, red, that mixture of colors. And he had this idea that she was a salamander in the dream. And a few days later, he had a second dream regarding also salamander. So maybe he was getting in touch with, these elementals on his dreams. And besides the dragon, I've had dreams where I have seen phoenix birds. So it's like you can have contact with these beings through dreams or through meditation, or by just simply being with yourself, breathing calmly, and you don't really have to be meditating. But once I was cleaning the house and I saw this tiny, it was like a mosquito, but it had like a tail. It was like a blue tail or something. And I kept seeing that little bug. And it had like a tiny face. So was that a fairy? What was that?
Yeah.
So you can have those moments. I know people who share their experience with me, and they've said like, yes, I felt this being flying, and I could notice that it had a face, like a human face, but it was so tiny, but it was so like a glimpse, like a second. And was it real? Was it true? So it's important that you learn how to practice discernment, and to trust yourself, trust what you're feeling, trust those sensations in your body, because they are telling you whether it's true or whether it's something that you can disregard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, Tina Marie, is there anything in particular that you would like to recommend people? For example, if they want to start, getting in touch or of contacting the dragons or any other magical creature, like, unicorns that you've been sharing to, or anything else, that they feel like they want to get in touch with, like they have this energy that resonates with them. Like, for example, do you have, a specific diet? Do you prefer not to eat these kind of things before doing this kind of meditation or something like that?
So it's funny you're talking about the unicorns, because the next video that we're going to post is going to be about unicorns. So it's pretty exciting. But okay, so in terms of getting started, really the only qualification you need, because I get asked this all the time, like, do I have to be initiated? Because, we've gone through all these initiations, being a dragon priestess and awakening to all my different dragon selves. No, you do not have to have any kind of initiation. The only qualification you need is an open heart. That's it. That's the only qualification you need is an open heart. And I would say to start with your guardian dragon, because your guardian dragon is with you all day, every day. They're dedicated to you. They love you so very much. And your guardian dragon, you'll probably feel kind of a familiarity with this dragon. So it's not like you're trying to connect with a dragon that's going to be a new energy. It'll be an energy that'll feel really familiar to you. Once you connect with your guardian dragon, it's likely that you'll start connecting with a bunch of other dragons and they'll feel very familiar to you. But I would say start with your guardian dragon. And then in terms of diet, that's really going to be individual. There's not one specific diet. And one of the most beautiful things about the dragon path is that there's not one right way for everyone. There's only the way that feels right for you. So if in terms of diet, if you feel like, I want to be vegan or vegetarian, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I eat meat, and I have a very beautiful connection with elementals and with dragons. One of the things for me that I've noticed, though, is that if I eat too much sugar, so for like sugar is a big thing for me. If I have too much sugar, then I start to feel very unbalanced. My connection starts to feel a little bit off. So I try to not have a lot of sugar in my life. I don't like alcohol or anything like that, so I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. But it's gonna depend on the person. So it's really important to just listen to yourself and to listen to what feels right for you, and not what anyone else thinks is right for you or is telling you is right for you.
Exactly. Yes, I know what you mean. Because, for example, with sugar, today I went to this restaurant to have breakfast. My partner invited me, so okay, let's. And they didn't have anything else. They only have white sugar. So okay, it's like once a year I have this thing, but I could feel like when I came back home and then I meditated and I did my whole morning ritual thing. So I could feel the time when I sat down to meditate, my heart was like beating in a different beat, a different rhythm that it usually does. So I could feel the difference. I was like, okay, so today I had sugar. Okay, that's the reason. So, and you can feel it. You can feel it in your body. I know people who eat meat and also channel. And I know people who really don't eat anything. Like this friend of mine who does this Sakmahat therapy. She's vegan. She eats clean, so she doesn't have any industrial processed foods. So she is actually an excellent channel because she has like this, her body is really, clean because she's not eating all these processed foods and all these things like that. And it's amazing the kind of connection she achieved. But I mean, if you're not there yet, if you don't feel like doing it, it's not like it's impossible, that's a good thing to know. But if eventually you feel like you have to stop eating this or that, then that's actually, that's what you are being called to take a little step further. Something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I learned on this spiritual path was that I needed to stop listening to what everybody else was telling me I shouldn't be doing in order to be more spiritual, because I had this idea that it was more spiritual to be vegan or to be vegetarian or to be raw vegan even. Mm-hmm. So I thought that I was going to be somehow spiritually superior if that's what the kind of diet that I had. And it couldn't be further from the truth, because I completely disconnected from my body. I wasn't listening to what my body actually wanted and what actually nourished my body. And when I stopped, and it was a struggle for me because I love animals so much. And I had this idea that, in order to be spiritual, in order to be loved by the planet, I needed to not eat animal products or anything like that. And it was a struggle for me for many years. But when I stopped listening to all of the information around me and I started listening to my own body and having a direct relationship with my body, I realized that eating meat nourishes my body. It nourishes this body. And when I made peace with that and started eating the foods that actually nourish my body, my connections opened up. My channeling ability opened up. My relationship with the planet opened up, because I was honoring this gift that she's given me instead of trying to force it to be something that it's not. If you feel as you're going along the path that it will be better for you to stop eating meat or dairy or sugar or coffee, alcohol, whatever it is, then that's perfect for you. But it's nobody's place to tell you what you should and shouldn't be putting in your body. That's a relationship that you have with your body, and it's something that is very personal and it's very unique. It's going to be different for each person.
Exactly. I know what you mean. I've been having these, these feelings through my life. I used to drink so much alcohol when I was younger, like when I was in my 20s. So, of a stage of my life. Anyway, I used to drink a lot, and then suddenly I just didn't feel like I had to. So I stopped gradually, every now and then, but just not to the point to get drunk, to have a couple beers or something like that. Then now I just can't. It's not, I don't feel like it. Maybe alcohol-free beer every now and then, and even that I don't crave for that, for alcohol. If there is a toast, for New Year's or something, or a birthday or something like that, yeah, that's okay. It's one glass of champagne or wine, that's okay. But that's it. And it's not like something I am craving like I used to when I was in my 20s. Like, oh, I want a cold beer and I want this and that. And now, no, I don't need that. And that's okay. You just have to go with the flow under your process. Right now, I am feeling the call to stop eating meat, for example. So, and that's okay, because I really enjoy it. I am enjoying the process. I don't say, at the moment, right now, today, September 3rd, I feel eat meat, but it's just not as much as I used to. And I am not suffering with, with the process, like, oh, I have to stop eating it. No, it's like, today I don't want to eat. Maybe tomorrow I will. So if I want to, I'm going to do it because that's what I feel like doing. But eventually it will be like alcohol for me. I feel like that's what's going to happen with me, like with alcohol. Like, I don't need that. I don't crave for it. So I will just stop, like everything else. Yeah. So if you are in that situation, I know that for people, this whole thing about the diet and what to eat, what not to eat, they could feel the pressure, but it will come to you when you're ready to take a step to do it. If you ever, get to that point. So that's a good thing to you know. Um,
and the dragons are going to love you anyway. The dragons will love you if you have a day where you have too much wine and you feel like crap the next day. The dragons are still going to love you. The dragons are still going to love you if you have a day where you eat dairy and you know that it gives you hives or something. So, I mean, it's really about, it's not about being something that we think is going to make us more lovable. It's about being who we are and loving ourselves anyway, because the dragons see us and the mermaids see us and the unicorns see us and these beautiful beings see us. They see us as these perfect, powerful beings of light. They don't see us as something that's broken that needs to be fixed. They see us on this really expansive, ever evolving path that shifts and changes and grows. So maybe one day you want to eat meat, maybe next day you don't want to eat meat. You don't have to label yourself as anything. You can just have the day where you do or have the day where you don't. It's really about being really gentle with ourselves and loving ourselves and remembering who we are and remembering that it's okay to change. Like, it's okay to be new at something. It's okay to grow. It's okay to change. I'm doing things, and we were talking about this in the beginning before we started recording the session. Like, I do things almost every day that scare the crap out of me. And it's just part of one, you know, being an entrepreneur, and two, being on this path of joyful evolution and joyful expansion. It's being brave and allowing yourself to be new and at things, to be a beginner and to be a learner. And it's okay. It's okay to be new at something. It's okay to take 3 steps forward and 1 step back. All of it's okay, and you're still going to be loved.
Exactly, like they don't judge what we do. Like, they are in this other reality, and they accept that we are in this reality and that we have to deal with so many things like emotion, feelings, and all these what's the word? I even forgot the word in Spanish. So
I was going to say in Spanish. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can translate.
No, it's gone. It's like influences, but it's not influences. It's like I totally forgot the word. But anyway, we have these many stimulus.
Oh yeah, it's the stimulation. Yes.
Yeah. We have stimulation from everywhere, like visual, like auditive, everywhere, everywhere we go, there is something happening, and there are so many distractions. And we have to deal with that. It's not like we are just in nature, even in nature, there are many stimulations. And then, so it's not that we are this quiet, white room with, nothing around. I mean, you see this wall empty, but I have stuff over here and there that you can see. But it's not like we are in this, white cube with nothing, with nothing else, and you are with yourself and your mind and your thoughts. It's not like that. We have to deal with life, and there is so much going on, and they know, that it's not easy. It's not easy that we are here incarnated, living in this 3D world, and they know that everything has a process, and they respect that. They do not judge what we do or what we feel. And they're always there to help ourselves. Like, maybe you could say that about spirit guides or ascended masters or angels or archangels. Every one of these beings that are around us, and many of us not see, visually with these 2 eyes, but maybe you could see with your other inner eye. So they are not there or around to judge what we do. They are just to support ourselves. So that's something good to know, that you can never feel bad about your choices or about whatever it is that you do with your life, because that is what you chose to learn, to come here and experience. So it's good to honor that. So.
I mean, and there's a being, there's a dragon to support you and to love you through every single experience. So, if it's health issues, you can work with the emerald dragons. If it's things like love or beauty or healing, you can work with the rose dragons. If you want to connect more with your galactic heritage and like the star seeds, you can work with the galactic dragons. If you want to know more about your soul purpose, you can work with the golden dragons, who are the cosmic order of dragon light. If you want to connect more with your body and you want to connect more with the planet, you can work with the elemental dragons. I mean, there's a dragon that you can work with for any kind of life experience. If you're experiencing grief, you can work with specific dragons. So there's always support and there's always love. And they can't move through these challenges for us. They can't experience life for us, but they can certainly do it with us. And so how much more beautiful and joyful does that make life if you're having a hard day or you're having a hard time or you've experienced something really traumatic, to know that there are these beings of light all around you who love you very much, who you're part of that soul group, you're part of that tribe, and they're there with you and you're not going through it alone. And they can even use their flames, so they can even use their sacred flames of light to help adjust your energy so that you're not experiencing such a deep or extended level of pain, or so that you're aligning more with your health and wellness, or so that you're aligning more with abundance, or so that you're able to see more beauty in the world, or you're having more harmonious relationships, or you're enjoying more clarity. Like you were saying, you're enjoying more of your third eye clarity. So there's a being to support you with everything and to work with you with everything. And, they're not here to just give and do for us, but they are here to love us. But it's about having a relationship with them. So just like we have relationships with our pets and we take care of our pets and we nurture our pets and they give us so much love too. It's a relationship. It's not about just taking. It's about having a relationship. And it's just really beautiful to know that there are all of these beings around us who support us and love us. And eventually, the more that you spend time with them, especially with the dragons, the more you can awaken the different type of dragons inside of your body. So like if you want to feel more cool and calm and collected, you can invite the gray dragons to use their flames to adjust your energy system. And you can also awaken within you your inner gray dragon, who can help to adjust your energy. And we have videos about that, awakening your inner dragon. We have meditations for awakening your inner dragon. And so there's a lot of different ways that you can work with their energy. You can do the things that we do, like do the channeled messages. You can do meditations. You can just be out in nature and play with them and just have fun with them and just be looking up at the sky and have fun with them. You can spend time with your pets. Dragons love our pets. They get along very well with our pets, and our pets know that they're here. So you can even just spend time with your pets and you're spending time with the dragons. There's so many different ways to experience the love and the loving relationships that are available to us. And it just makes life and it makes the world that much more magical and that much more beautiful and that much more fun to live, really. Then you actually want to be here. You want to experience life here.
Yes. Well, I have so many things to ask you now that you mentioned all kind of dragons that there are, or at least some of them. But before we go there, regarding pets, I want to share this experience I told you about. I've been having lately this kind of, well, I call them visions because it's not a dream, it's not astral projection or, after astral traveling or something like that. It's not a lucid dream, it's not, but I'm not, well, it's like this moment where I wake up, but I don't open my eyes immediately. And so I know, I woke up, I know it. I just don't move, I stay in bed. And then it's like, when you close your eyes, you see black or maybe a color. So I call that my screen. So on my screen, suddenly it's like I teleported somewhere. But recently I had this experience, I call it vision, where I was in the stage. So I woke up, didn't open my eyes, And my cat was, like actually physically sleeping on my arm, like he put his head over here. And I was lying down, my cat was here. And somehow it shifted, like I could see my eyes were closed. And instead of my whole cat's body, it was like a dragon head. And it was like I had, like the little, the mouth over here, like over. But it felt, warm, like my cat. It felt, super nice, and it didn't feel weird or bad. I wasn't scary. It was, just like a normal situation. And I realized, so this is a dragon with a dragon. And is my cat a dragon? Maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a connection, and I had that in a, like an etheric level, and I was seeing that. It was so interesting, maybe you are having an experience, a similar experience, and if you do, feel free to share in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah. Dragons do a lot of work with portals too. And our animals a lot of times do a lot of work with portals too. So maybe your cat was just being a portal at that time for the dragon energy to come through and to spend time with you. So it's really beautiful. And when you connect with your dragon energy, or whether it's your guardian dragons or the other sacred dragons of the Omniverse, it's always going to feel good. So like their energy will always, always, always feel loving. Their energy will always feel light. Their energy will always feel good. So if you need like, well, how do I know? How do I know? If it feels good, if it feels loving, if it feels light, if you feel safe and comfortable, then their energy will always feel loving. It will always feel good.
Yeah. It's not like the movie dragons that are scary and want to kill you or eat you.
No.
It's not like that.
Yeah, but it's funny. I actually had an experience. I had an experience early on when I was connecting with the dragons and really developing my relationship with them, where I would open to a channeling session with the dragons, and some of them would come in with their wings were spread, and they'd be screeching at me. And it wasn't scary, but I didn't know what was happening. And I work with Archangel Michael. He overlights all of my dragon work. So I work with Archangel Michael, and I asked Archangel Michael, I said, Archangel Michael, what is going on? When the dragons come, why is that happening? And he said that it's like when you come home to your dog and your dog hasn't seen you and your dog is barking and they're really excited to see you. It's like that. It's like your dog is really excited to see you and they're barking and greeting and they're really excited to see you. So that's it. Amazing. So sometimes if you have experiences like that, just ask them. And if you're getting started with dragons, you can work with Archangel Michael. He's my brother. He's my twin. And I don't mean twin as in twin flame, but I mean twin as in twin brother. And he loves helping us to open our connections with dragons. And he can create a really safe space for you to do that. So you can always work with Archangel Michael. And if you have experiences like that, where you're like, I don't know what that was, you can always just like ask. You can ask the dragons, you can ask Archangel Michael. So now I know, like if they come in like that, like with the wings and screeching a little bit, it's because they're excited. Yeah, it's because they're happy to see me.
That's so amazing. I love it. Now that you mentioned Michael, I love Michael too, He's my friend too. I really love him. He's so protective, he's so helpful, and he's always there as well as everyone else. But I was wondering, this flash came to my head. Like, there is this sort of, legend or something like that. I don't know, they sort of portray Michael as slaying a dragon or something. I don't know if you've ever seen or read that.
Yes.
Maybe like they they chose the dragons to represent evil, but it's not like that. they have been manipulating us with, they've been changing stories and this and that. So they've been wanting us to believe that dragons are evil and they get bad.
Yeah, and I actually asked Archangel Michael about that because I've heard those stories too about Archangel Michael being a slayer of dragons. And the information that I got from Archangel Michael is that he would never, ever slay a dragon. He would never slay a dragon. He didn't say anything about like, oh, what they're saying isn't true or anything, because that's not how Archangel Michael works. He's not going to say they're wrong. He would never say something like that. But he says he would never slay a dragon. And I believe that. That feels like truth to me. Now, all of those stories about like slaying dragons and dragons representing evil and stuff. I mean, there's some thought about that maybe being dinosaurs or, like bigger reptiles from the old Earth days, but I don't know. I don't know those answers. And I don't know why the dragon was chosen to represent evil, but it's just like the snake was chosen to represent Satan. And I don't think that snakes are evil at all either. So symbolism is outside of my area of expertise. I don't really understand why those particular animals or beings were chosen to represent evil. But to me, none of those beings are actually evil. So I mean, I think it just has to be what feels true for you and what resonates with you. For some people, they're just going to represent evil and that's how they're going to feel. And that's okay. People are not always going to agree with that, with the perspectives that we're discussing today. And that's okay. It's okay for people to have different perspectives. It's just what feels true for you and what feels right for you. And really, I would say base it off of your own experiences. If you have an experience where a dragon is complete love and complete acceptance and comfort and light to you, then that's your truth. Let everyone else have whatever that feels true for them. And we're not here to try to change anyone else's beliefs or make anyone else believe something that doesn't feel right for them. We're here to have our experiences and to share our experiences and to open them up to people who are actually interested in them. Not interested, that's okay.
So another thing that I was wondering, since you mentioned all these kinds of dragons and dragon energy, like, well, first, sacred dragons of the Omniverse.
Yes.
The Omniverse. Well, that will give you an idea of how many kind of dragons there are.
So many. Oh my gosh. That's my favorite thing about the Sacred Dragon Path is that there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to learn. There's new dragons coming in all the time. I had an experience just a few weeks back. I was, I don't remember where I was, but I awakened to my fairy dragon self. So I learned that there are fairy dragons, which are a blend of fairy and dragon energy. And they're really, really beautiful. So my fairy dragon self is like a water fairy dragon. And they have this incredible purpose and incredible mission of helping us open up to our magical selves and our magical lives. And so experiencing something like that is so delightful. And like you said, the sacred dragons of the Omniverse, yes, there are so many, and there are new ones coming in all the time, and we're remembering new ones all the time. So the dragons, they emanate from the heart of the Divine Mother and the mind of the Divine Father. And that'll give you a sense of their energy. Like they're from the divine, they're from the heart of the Divine Mother and the mind of the Divine Father. And one of the greatest gifts the dragons have for us is to help us remember our divinity and to help us feel an infallible connection with the divine and to help us move through life with this sense of being one with the divine. And if you listen to the channeled messages that I share with the dragons, they will almost always start with something about we are the oneness that we are, or we are one, or we greet you in the space of divine union or unity. And they mean it very literally. Like they're not saying it to be like nice or floral. They mean it literally. Like we are one. We are all emanations of the one heart and the one mind and the God, goddess, source energy, whatever you want to call it. And that's one of the greatest gifts they have for us, is to really help us remember we are one and that we are divine and that we are all part of this beautiful union.
Exactly. It's like I've been doing these videos with my friends too, and we talk about our, origin, the origin where we all come from is like the source, you know, the one source. And we all come from there. So it's like when people talk about their star origin. Well, it's not really the origin. I've been calling that the soul's path. Like the soul chose to go here and there and there and there and then, but now we're here. So, but like the origin is the one source. So we all come from the same place. So that's what they mean, that we are one, because we all come from there and we always get back to that one source. So it's amazing. And I was thinking also I know you do this, you share these meditations and these guided meditations, and I know on your shop you have these. I'm sorry. You have it's not a guided meditation. What is it?
Their energy upgrades with the Dragon Light language.
Is that something like individual, like specific for the person who shops, or is that something that you like a generic thing that everyone can get no matter what?
Anyone, that's one of the things I say too. Like anyone can participate in what we have done. Anyone can participate in the meditations. Anyone can participate in the channel messages. Anyone can participate in the energy upgrades that we have on the shop. And I'm moving in terms of my overall purpose and path. I'm really moving in the direction of magical living and this kind of broader magical living with a primary focus on dragons. So everything that we're doing does this support somebody's magical life? Does this help them live their life in an inspired, empowered, expansive way? If that's what you want, if you want to live a magical life, then yes, it's something that you can absolutely do. I'm actually going to be adding in the coming weeks, I'm going to be adding some more custom options. So if they want custom messages from the dragons, I will create those custom messages and give them the custom messages. They want a light language that's tailored specifically for them, then I'll be doing those as well. I'm just adding those components to it. But yeah, if you want to live a more empowered life, if you want to live an enchanted life, if you want to open up to that sense of more that you're feeling in your heart, then yes, anyone can participate in whether it's the YouTube stuff, the Instagram stuff, the shop products that we have. And for the YouTube content, we're going to be moving more towards doing tips. So tips for working with dragon energy. So it's going to be mini lessons for the videos rather than the channeled messages or the meditations, because I feel like we have so many channeled messages and so many meditations that we've kind of covered everything at this point. So we're going to be starting moving towards more tips and little lessons for how you can every day, whether you're sitting in traffic, you're at work, you're taking a nap, how you can enjoy this more of a magical, enchanted life.
And I love them because I've been, I subscribed to your channel the second I found your first meditation. Well, the first one I found, it was the Andromedan Dragon meditation or activation. I can't remember the name exactly. But then, I love her. I want to subscribe. So I subscribe, and then I see your videos and all of that. And it's so practical, the meditations are not 2-hour long meditations. They are simple, short meditations that you can do every day, whenever you want. And they, at least my experience has been that I finish them and I feel so light, and I feel so joyful, and it's I love the energy you share through your work. And I was wondering if maybe, well, now you just mentioned that you're going to offer a custom option, but I was wondering if maybe there is, if someone wants to contact you, for example, I have this particular situation and I would love to work with the dragon energy to, heal this or resolve this. So is there any way that they can contact you to, guide them and maybe offer them anything in particular that they require?
Yes, 100% yes. And the dragon community, they reach out to me all the time with those kinds of specific questions and specific situations. It's highly likely that we have a video on YouTube that we can direct you to. So there's going to be like a channeled message, or there's going to be a meditation or something that I can direct you to. I'll usually send like 2 or 3 links to the videos. And then I can also tell you specific dragons, like, okay, you want to heal the past. You just got out of a really bad relationship and you're feeling really terrible about it. Okay, you can work with the white rose dragons. The white rose dragons, their flames are really, really wonderful for helping to heal the past and for helping to kind of resolve that past, and to be very, very gentle with yourself, to release any feelings of guilt or any feelings of shame. The white rose dragons are perfect for that. So yeah, I mean, they can send me an email, they can reach out to me on Instagram, just send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll usually send over a couple of YouTube video links. And then I'll also let them know, like, okay, you can work with this specific dragon. And then we also have, so as part of the email subscribers, which you probably got this if you signed up for the love notes, we have 3 guides. So there's the Dragon Magic for Every Day, which goes through like all of the normal life things like health and abundance, family, relationships, and the different dragons you can work with. There's a Starseed Dragon guide. So for our star seeds, it goes through like Andromedan, Sirian, Pleiadian, Lyran, all of the different kinds of starseed dragons, how you can work with their energy. And then there's the A to Z of easy magical living. So it's things like spending time with cats, or being aware of the magic in the world, or being aware of the beauty in the world. So if you subscribe to the weekly love notes that we send out, then you'll get those 3 guides. And new subscribers reach out to me all the time saying, thank you so much for the guides. They were super helpful. So they're great guides. They're like, have a ton of information in there too that can help you with everyday life experiences.
Amazing. I love it. and I hope everyone here is, well, if they are meeting you for the first time, well, I hope that you subscribe to Tina Marie's channel, and of course her Dragon Lovelight love notes, because they are so beautiful. She always shares these beautiful messages, and they can, at least spark a smile if you're having a bad day. so that's so great.
Yeah, and then the same thing for our dragon community too. Subscribe to Cosmica Wellness, and you can also follow her on Instagram. So a lot of the posts are in Spanish, but like Raquel has said, you can just do C translation. And so I can understand a little bit of it in Spanish, but a lot of times I'll translate it and you can get the messages very clearly. So you can also subscribe to Cosmica Wellness.
Thank you. Well, so I guess we're approaching the end of this video. I mean, I could talk for hours with you about dragons. Maybe we could do a Dragon Energy Part 2, maybe Starseed, Galactic Dragons. Later, maybe in a few months. That would be great. I love all of that. So, well, before we go, I was wondering is there anything, you share this beautiful message from the Rose Dragon that I am posting today on Instagram, but this video will be uploaded later, so I will leave you the link. It will have the message in both Spanish and English, so you can read and understand it. But, is there anything that the dragons are maybe saying you at the moment, or maybe they told you something earlier today that you would like to share with us today?
Yeah, so, okay. So if we're going to close the session, what we can do is we can just do a quick little attunement to your guardian dragon, to your dragon spirit guide. So we're just going to tune into the energy to your dragon spirit guide to kind of open up that connection so that you can sense their presence and you can feel their love. And I can actually feel so much love right now. It's just coursing through my body. So all the love of all the dragons that want to be with you, they're here. So if you're anyone who's watching, if you're in a position to close your eyes, then let's go ahead and close our eyes. And if you can't, that's okay. If you can just relax a little bit, and we'll just take a couple of deep in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. We are like having audio issues. The video
Oh
froze. Okay. Just for a bit. It's back now, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you can close your eyes. Yeah. Oh, where do we have to start from?
Closing our eyes.
We're closing our eyes. Okay. So, all right. So really the easiest way to connect with your guardian dragon is just through a heartfelt connection. And what we'll do is we'll invite Archangel Michael to this space. So thank you, beautiful brother Archangel Michael, for joining us here, for creating a safe and sacred space for our beautiful community to connect with our guardian dragon. Thank you for holding this space as a safe and sacred sanctuary of light. And just open your heart now. Open your heart, just feel it expanding out. You can even just feel like this beautiful pink light expanding out through all of your body. And just invite a connection with your dragon. It can be really simple. You can say, I invite a connection now with my guardian dragon. And just welcome your guardian dragon to your space. And just pay attention to anything that you may be feeling. So you can pay attention if you're getting any kind of visual impressions, if you're getting any kind of feelings or colors or sights or sounds. And just feel into the presence of your guardian dragon. They love you very much, and it should feel like big, expansive love, big, expansive love. And like, you know this dragon. You've known this dragon for a very, very long time, and they know you for a very long time. And it's likely they'll be wrapping their wing around you. So if they're a bigger dragon, they'll wrap their wing around you. If they're a smaller dragon, they might perch on your shoulder. The size does not matter for the dragons. They're still very powerful, whether they're small or large. And just tune into your dragon's energy, and you can ask them for their name. They may ask you to give them a name. They may give you a name. Their names aren't in English anyway, so they may ask you to give them a name, or they may give you a name. And if you don't get a name now, that's totally fine. And just invite this dragon to be more present in your life in a conscious way. And open up this connection with your dragon every day. And one of the ways that you can do this, really beautiful thing you can do, is when you first wake up in the morning, you can greet your dragon. You can say, good morning, Diamond, or good morning, Blue, or good morning, Fred, or good morning, Ashtar, whatever your dragon's name is. You can just greet your dragon by their name. And actually saying their name and greeting them by their name helps to deepen the connection with them. So thank your dragon for being here. Thank your dragon for loving you. And then from here, just really begin to cultivate a relationship with them, play with them, spend time with them, ask them questions, meditate with them, and learn about them. They have so much love to give, and they're with you always. All right.
That is great. So maybe if you feel like you didn't receive information, like, yeah, I did it, but I felt nothing. Well, information is, anything can be information, like if you see a color, if you feel something on your skin, if you get the chills, or maybe even if you didn't get a name, like you said, it's okay if you don't get the name, but perhaps during the day, you will get a word and you get the feeling.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. Sometimes it takes a couple of days. Sometimes it takes a couple of days, and you'll be doing something so weird. Like you'll be online on Pinterest and you'll see a dragon tattoo, and you'll see the dragon tattoo, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's my dragon. That was the dragon that I experienced in the meditation. So yeah, it might not be immediate, and that's okay. Whatever your experience is okay. Sometimes it takes a few days. You may have an experience with your dragon in your dreams. You may want to do explore some of the meditations and open up that connection. This really was just for orienting you to the energy and attuning you to the energy of your dragon. Whatever your experience is, it was perfect for you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And this thing you mentioned about being on Pinterest, something similar happened. I was doing this Steve Nobel dragon meditation. He had a podcast, and he invited this woman who also works with dragon energy. She did a guided meditation. So I listened to, okay, let's do it. And I saw during the meditation a beautiful white dragon with some turquoise, it's hair, let's call it hair. It's not hair really, but these little things that I felt like female energy from this dragon. So actually it was a she. So she had like this beautiful turquoise things. And then like a few days later, like a week later, I was on a Facebook group. Somebody shared a drawing, an illustration that this person did on paper and took a picture and uploaded it. And I was like, oh, this is the dragon I saw on the meditation. So beautiful. I have the picture. Let me see if I have it so I can show it to you. It's on my old phone. I recently changed phones, but this one still works. I have some pictures here. Let me just check quickly. If not, if I don't find it, then I will share it on Instagram. No, it's not here. Sorry. Anyway, I will look for it and I will share it on Instagram when I upload this video. So you can go and check it out. So thank you so much, Tina Marie. It's been a pleasure for me to share this moment with you and to be able to share this with people, this message about the dragon energy. And I just want the world to become friends with the dragons.
And they want to be friends with the world too. They have so much love to give. It's amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. So thank you again, and thanks everyone who's been watching this video to stay here till the end. Thank you so much. Thank you and goodbye.
Thanks everyone. It's been so much fun. Thank you everyone.
Bye.